What is up, homies? Welcome back to another trailer reaction from Heroes Reforged. We're reacting to the official trailer for Marvel Studios' Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. I'm very excited to watch this trailer. The Comic-Con trailer was pretty mesmerizing from when we originally had watched it. Unfortunately, Hector's still not here. He's not back from Italy for another couple days, so he'll be missing this trailer reaction. But if you want to see all the other reactions that we've been doing on the channel, including Superman and Lois, She-Hulk, The Boys, all the TV stuff, check out our Patreon for the uncut reactions, patreon.com/Heroes Reforged. Just launched our Spooktober watch-alongs. We just did the original Halloween. Next weekend, we're doing Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and then the weekend after that, we'll be capping it off. Blumhouse's final installment of their Halloween trilogy, Halloween Ends. It's been so much fun doing those watch-alongs, and we're doing more spooky stuff this month too. Werewolf by Night is coming out next week.
Cabinet of Curiosities. That's my most anticipated project of the season.
I'm really looking forward to that one. I'm really looking forward to that. There's a lot of great directors on board for that, and it's gonna be a good time. And there might be some surprises. For sure. There might be some surprises. But you check out this trailer for Wakanda Forever.
Let's count it down because I don't think there's very much talking we need to do for this one. So. Let's let the trailer speak for itself, and then we'll talk about it after.
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Ooh, monotone. Okay. Oh man.
Oh God.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
Only the most broken people can be great leaders.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Oof. I literally have goosebumps. Nothing's happened yet.
Yeah.
Did not call him General or King. They called him Khan, the feather serpent god.
Ooh, okay.
Killing him.
Oh my God, whoa.
This eternal war.
He's coming for the surface world.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Wow.
Oh my God.
What you whisper, they have lost their protector.
Oh, is that Ironheart?
I think so.
It's our time to strike.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh, there's Ironheart. Holy crap.
Show them who we are.
Is it gonna be Shuri?
It's gonna be Shuri.
Oh,
It's gonna be Shuri.
God.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm gonna put this on loop while we talk because I gotta see this over and over and over again.
Oh man.
Oh, it's a good one. It's a good one.
So
go for it, Adam.
It just gives us, I think, more context into the story as to what's happening. And I think, especially for Namor and the people of Talocan, we get a little bit more context as to kind of what their role is in the film. We get a little hint of it in the teaser trailer. Like they're obviously trying to take over either Wakanda or the world. They mentioned the surface. It's going to be interesting to see, I think, what leads to them going after Wakanda first. Because the trailer maybe hints towards a couple of things, but I don't think it's completely clean cut as to what's happening. I know that there's this footage in this trailer that's kind of intercut with these soldiers going in and being attacked by the Dora Milaje. We learned that that has to do with the outside world wanting vibranium from Wakanda, and Wakanda kind of saying, no, we don't want this to get into the hands of everybody else out in the world because that's dangerous, basically. So I think there's a lot of outsiders coming in trying to steal it and mine it from Wakanda. So it'll be interesting to see how Wakanda deals with not only outsiders coming in to steal their something that's so precious to them, but it'll be interesting to see the people of Talocan also coming into Wakanda to try to take down their empire. So there's two very interesting things happening in between, T'Challa obviously dying, passing away. They're having some sort of a funeral, some sort of something for him to sort of honor him and his legacy. So I think there's going to be a lot of emotion and a lot of levels to this movie.
I personally don't see it as Talocan invading or trying to take over Wakanda. I think it's going to be some kind of misunderstanding, given that
Something
what we
caused
know
by the surface people.
Yeah, exactly. So given what we know about Atlantis beforehand, they were very isolated, right? Kind of like Wakanda, but more so because they had the barrier of thousands of miles of water.
Right.
It looks like they might be a little bit more traditional, or like holding to those traditions a little bit more than Wakanda. So I think what we're seeing here is, in the very beginning, is because we're not seeing like masses and masses of Atlanteans or Talocan. I don't even know how to Talocanians. I don't know. I don't even know how you would say it.
The Talocan?
Like invading. Yeah, from Talocan. Now, you don't see them like invading, but what you do see, the high action sequences, are these soldiers, right? Versus the Dora Milaje. And so I think it's going to be some kind of misunderstanding that they have at first that gets resolved to get to whoever is sending these soldiers out there. And I think that's going to be like the main villain. I find it really difficult for a man like Ryan Coogler to put brown people against each other.
No, you're
not to say that this movie is all like completely political or whatever, but
it's
I think
Ryan
we have
Coogler.
to. I mean, it's Ryan Coogler, right? He's very socially aware, and I think that he knows
what he's doing.
What it's gonna be like to put two people of color against each other, and what kind of that kind of a bad trope that it is in movies, to do that kind of thing. So I have a real strong feeling that whatever is gonna happen, Wakanda and Talocan are gonna unite, and they are going to fight whoever might be bringing whatever they're bringing to Wakanda. Because we also don't know what kind of resources they have under the water.
That's true.
They might have some kind of like resource that
is also very valuable.
Is causing them to react this way. They're like, if they take down Wakanda, they're coming after us next, and we can't have this happen.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's the feeling that I'm kind of getting from this, because I don't feel like it's going to be some kind of Clash of Empires kind of situation. I think they are going to unite, because there's some points in the comics in which Namor and T'Challa are both on the Illuminati. They're both on the same side. Now, normally Namor is kind of like the hit or miss, like, I'm with you when it's convenient to me, and then I'm not with you because it's not convenient to me. He's very wishy-washy when that goes. I don't know if they're going to play that this way, but I do think that there is going to be some kind of unification here against a greater evil. What that greater evil is, only Hector can tell at this point. I'm sure Hector already knows like what's going to happen, who's going to be in it, or some like major theories. But let's talk about the Black Panther suit. Did you see the details? Do you know it's Shuri? Do you like, are you convinced?
Honestly, all I'm really going off of is just like body build, and it looks
very important.
Letitia
Very
right
important.
The most.
Look at the dots on the mask. Rewind. Look at the dots. Those are the dots in Black Panther when she was fighting with those things at the end. So
right.
To me, that's a dead giveaway that's Shuri. I don't know. Also, don't know the importance or the history of the pattern of the dots. On the head. So I could be wrong. It's leading me towards her though.
I'm pretty sure this has been talked about online as well. I think Shuri makes the most sense in terms of the lineage line. And then I think if there's an oh shit scenario, I wouldn't put it past them letting Queen Ramonda also don the Black Panther suit. That could be interesting. If they don't make Shuri full-time Black Panther, they definitely have the opportunity to kind of move it around between mother and daughter. That could be really interesting. And I think it will totally depend on the scenario and the situation and what's happening. But if it is Shuri full-time, story-wise, it makes total sense that she would pick up the mantle from her brother. And that's also accurate to the comic books as well. So
comic wise, that makes 100% sense. Not to say that it has to follow the comics exactly, but I think it is a really interesting, the influence is there. You know where you're drawing from. The only thing is that one of the most famous timelines or comic stories in which Shuri is Black Panther is the Doom War timeline, in which T'Challa is kind of like nowhere to be found, or like off on his own adventure, and she takes over while Dr. Doom is like wreaking havoc. And not saying that I need Doom in this movie, but I need Doom to show up in some kind of massive epic story. I think we'll see. I don't know.
I think I have a very strong feeling that with the Fantastic Four movie coming towards the ending part of Phase 4, or sorry, Phase 6, you're probably gonna get something like that. I think it's very possible.
Hope we get some kind of like a hint, a drop, like a Thanos post credit, just like a glint of a mask or like a hood or something. Maybe a Doombot, like one Doombot showing up in this would, I would flip my lid again if there was some kind of hint towards that.
I think you're gonna get that for sure. But and we also got to see a little bit of Ironheart, not too much. Which is really cool. And I, of course, just like with Iron Man, I think that character is going to go through phases where she has different uniforms, and I think she'll have her phase 1 outfit in this movie. And then I'm sure by the time we get to her show Ironheart, which comes out next year, she'll have refined her battle armor, I guess.
Her look, her like design, everything will be a little bit more sleek. I really like the Gen 1 type armor though, like the very first armor that like Iron Man came out, not the big bulky one in the cave.
Mark II,
like the one he came out at, Mark II right after that was so rad. I really like the kind of like modular, a little bit more squared off. I wasn't a big fan of like the liquid metal design. I really like sort of like the mech, like I'm in a suit kind of thing.
I would say that's kind of like my biggest complaint about, or my biggest kind of gripe about where the Iron Man tech ended up going in the movies. And I know that it's very accurate to the comic books, but I always feel like whenever and it's very limited, but when I do open or see images of Iron Man from the comic books, I feel like for the most part, not always, but for the most part, he has a blockier look to him. And I kind of like that. I feel like that kind of separates him a lot from the other Avengers. I feel like as soon as he gets very like rounded edges, it just makes him kind of look like everybody else. And I like the fact that he's a little bit kind of more like a RoboCop type of a look. I really enjoy that. And I like the techiness and the bulkiness. I mean, it should feel that way. And I think sometimes, especially in Infinity War and Endgame, when his suits are so sleeked out, the physics, I feel like kind of breaks a little bit, where he feels like he's able to move too effortlessly. Like there's got to be a little bit of heft to that suit. Even if it's made out of nanotechnology, I feel like there's got to be some weight to it. It can't be
some kind of
100% weightless. So,
I agree.
I hope that we get some of that weight put back into Shuri's armor, whether it's the phase 1 armor or whatever future armor she has. I think would be really cool. The one thing I do want to kind of go back to really quick is something that you said about how you're talking about the Talocans and the Wakandans, their war. We do see the outsiders, I don't know where they're from. They could be American, they could be British, I'm not sure. When they infiltrate Wakanda, they're infiltrating on water. So, and I don't know if that base or whatever they're invading, if it's Wakandan and that's how and where they mine vibranium from. If that's the case, maybe it's the way that they're mining the vibranium that doesn't sit well with the Talocan people. But then when the outsiders come in and invade, maybe that's kind of what causes the war, because they disrupt the entire sort of society of Talocan. So I think you're right. I think Ryan Coogler is very conscious and aware of the movie that he's making, as we've seen with literally everything he's made. So it'll be interesting to see sort of how they maybe start out as frenemies a little bit.
But then I think you're a little bit of frenemies.
And I think you're right though. At the end, it's going to be about uniting the two kingdoms and then sort of being a really big defense system for our world. So I think that'll be really cool. It's a great trailer, and I think it's going to be a very emotional movie, obviously because of Chadwick Boseman's untimely passing. So I think we're going to have a little bit of a emotional hurdle to get through in this movie. And I would imagine that the ceremony to sort of honor T'Challa is going to be one of the first things we see in the movie.
I think it's going to be the opener, honestly.
I think it's going to be the opener. I think it's going to be our way, their way, in story and outside of the story, to just, I don't want to say to deal with, because that seems inappropriate.
To say goodbye, or like to say honor.
Goodbye, to pay honor, to pay honor to Chadwick and T'Challa. And it's going to be, I think, like a really steep emotional climb at the beginning of the movie. And once we get past that, then we can sort of like ease ourselves into the film. So
I have a feeling they're not going to disrupt, even if it's just like an in-movie, because it's not just an in-movie like honoring of Chadwick Boseman. It's like the honoring of Chadwick Boseman as this character, but also as a human being. I don't think they're going to disrupt that in any way with whatever violence or whatever craziness happens in this movie. Like, we're going to have our time.
Beginning is just going to be, this is dedicated to Chadwick and T'Challa.
Exactly. Like, it's going to be just for him. We're going to spend a good chunk of time crying. Then we're going to hydrate, and then we're going to watch the rest of this movie, because I'm going to need water, because I cried all my tears out.
Look, you and I cried in Creed, so
yeah, exactly.
If Ryan Coogler can do anything, it's make us cry.
It's make grown men sob like babies. Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm ready for this, dude. We're gonna watch it in 3D.
Yes,
we're gonna make sure we see it in the biggest format possible.
Absolutely,
it's gonna be such a good time in the movie theater
for sure. I cannot wait. It's gonna be emotional. It's gonna be action packed. This movie really is gonna be sort of everything, and it is the end of Phase 4, so it in some weird way it kind of feels like an appropriate way to cap off this year, cap off this phase, have a little bit of a break before we get into Phase 5 next year with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So it'll be
and Doctor Doom, baby. Yeah,
it'll be a good time. It'll be a good time. But guys, of course, let us know in the comments below what you thought about this official trailer for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. What are some of your theories? Who do you think takes up the mantle of Black Panther? Do you think it's multiple people? Let us know in the comments below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Turn that red button gray. Let's get to 100K. We'll see you guys in the next reaction. Bye.
Bye.